And we are recording. Oliver, great to see you. Can you introduce yourself and your work to everybody?
Sure, Ron. It's great to be talking to you. Great to be working with you after all those years. I'm now in the Secretariat of the Convention on Biological Diversity, and under my responsibilities, I work on all the issues related to sustainable tourism, and I guess that's the interface in which we should talk about today.
Perfect. We've been working for a couple years now on what's called the Indigenous Tourism and Biodiversity Website Award. And let's see, I'm down here, you're up there, and our winners
Yes.
span the globe. Can you tell
Oh,
tell the folks a
fantastic.
little bit about the award and what we're planning?
Well, first, it's important to say that the Convention on Biological Diversity, being the kind of reference multilateral environmental agreement on biodiversity, has been dealing with two issues in a more or less separate way. On one side, we've been working on traditional knowledge and the contribution of indigenous and local communities in terms of knowing and accumulated experience in sustainable use of biodiversity and the links between cultural and biological diversity. So this is a whole chapter of our convention. On the other hand, we've also been working on tourism because basically because tourism is a financing tool for protected areas. And it's also a way to convince people to be more aware of biodiversity. What we didn't do before is to link the two, and when we did, we found out that up to 40% of the world's protected area surface, according to all the IUCN categories, in fact are under the stewardship of indigenous and local communities. And we also found out that many of them use tourism as a way to supplement their livelihood. And more so, they use the website to communicate about their products and to communicate about the way they would like to show the areas that they protect. And I guess that's where this idea of working with websites and with indigenous tourism came to be. And then we divided the work in two areas. One was to have a series of regional workshops to increase the capacity of indigenous people to deal with tourism and to portray a kind of biodiversity-friendly form of tourism on their websites. And to complement that, to identify what the best practices were, we launched 2 years ago the Indigenous Tourism and Biodiversity Website Award, which is to identify the best of those indigenous operators. And as you know, now, this year, we will have the opportunity to do the ITBW award, as it's called, and we have identified the 8 best indigenous tourism operators. I would be glad to see them in the event that we'll be talking about.
All right, events. We're talking about the month of September, and the big event
8
is
to 11.
say that again.
8 to 11 of September
All right.
in Portland, Oregon, in the United States. And the idea is that the International Ecotourism Society, which is one of the points that we had in common for many years, is promoting the so-called Ecotourism and Sustainable Tourism Conference from 8 to 11 in Portland. And so the idea is to bring our indigenous winners and finalists to Portland to share their experiences and also to facilitate them selling and distributing their products to the North American market.
All right, again, the dates are September 8th to the 10th for the big conference and our Web 2.0 workshop on September 11th.
11th, exactly. So what will happen in Portland, and I look forward to this opportunity to work with you and with Planeta, is basically we'll have, first of all, an announcement of the winners in which they will be introduced and familiarized with all the tour operators and the specialists participating in this conference. Then on the 10th, we will have the award ceremony, which will recognize the contribution of those leaders.
Perfect. And we
then
will be back
on
with
the
more
11th, we'll have a
details
workshop.
in a minute.
That's right. And that was it.